Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads His Marvel Comics in Order. This is episode 91. This time I read Red Sonja #1, her new ongoing series, January 1977 issue. This is a really good one. Frank Thorne really knows how to draw the ladies. So what? Red Sonja just ended a several issue run in like Marvel Premiere or something like that. Or I think Frank Thorne was the artist all the way through it, was he? Bruce Jones wrote a few stories, and I think Roy Thomas wrote a few stories. This one, ongoing series, this is written by Roy Thomas and Clara Noto. I'm not sure who that is, but Roy Thomas, anytime you listen to an interview with Roy Thomas, he always talks about coming up with stories with like friends of his. He'd have conversations with just certain people that were friends of his, and that's how we came up with a lot of stories. You hear him say that a lot. So I wonder if I don't know if Clara Noto is one of those friends of his that he just brainstormed story ideas. I'm not sure. But anyway, Roy Thomas, Clara Noto wrote this issue. I don't know if Roy Thomas writes this entire series or not. I can't remember. We'll find out as I read this in order, of course. But Frank Thorne, I don't even remember if he sticks around through the whole series. But Frank Thorne's awesome. I did a video a couple months ago on Ribbit, a 4-issue series put out by Comico back in the 80s. And that was Frank Thorne. He wrote it and drew it, did the art. And what an incredible little miniseries that was. That was really good. Excellent artwork from Frank Thorne. Really cool story. Mythic type of story, actually. But just about every single character that is a creation of his, and he did a comic book or a comic strip on, was basically like a sexy woman. So I don't know if he did any before Red Sonja, or if Red Sonja just kind of like set him off in that direction. But he has like a whole list of sexy women characters. Like I'll go through a list of them here. Gita of Alazar, which appeared in 1984 and 1994 magazine. I recently did a video on that as well. I recently bought a full run of 1984 and 1994 magazines. I forget how many there are, 20 some issues altogether. And it changes, the name of the magazine changes, like after issue number 8 it becomes 1994. Before that it was 1984. But yeah, Gita of Alazar is a Frank Thorne character that ran in that magazine. In Heavy Metal magazine, he had a character named Lan, which I don't know anything about. Of course, Ribbit and Comico, which I recently mentioned. He had in National Lampoon, he had a character named Danger Rangerette. And in Playboy magazine, he had a character named Moonshine McJugs. I've seen a few of those strips. They're it's a Playboy magazine comic strip, so it's naughty, but really good, funny, and Frank Thorne just seems to draw sexy girls, and that's what he's doing in this. But this is a really good story. This is like a kind of a fairy tale almost. Red Sonja, her faithful horse stepped in a hole, broke its ankle, so she has to put it out of its misery. And they had a really good bond, so she's very upset about it. And but she has to carry on. And as she carries on in this forest, she comes across this army, this small group of men, all ganging up on a horse, trying to catch it, do something. And then we get this sorcerer who's in charge of these men, and he is yelling at them to get this horse, and we find out that it's not a horse, it's a unicorn. So you can see how this is kind of fable fairy tale-ish already, but it's I don't know if it's based on like another fable or fairy tale, but I think it's kind of a bunch of common tropes, but very well done, I think. But anyway, the unicorn is he's fighting back, and in his throws, he knocks his own horn off. And the leader of the gang that's trying to catch the unicorn, he catches it, and that's what he wanted, and he's going to use it because it's got magical properties, of course. But Red Sonja, she ain't having it. She marches right in there and just takes on these men, and her and the horse kind of have an instant bond, spiritual bond, and they fight. They join up and fight off these guys, and she jumps on his back and heads out. So this is my guess on this, is that this is like a young girl's coming of age story, because Red Sonja has a bond with this unicorn, and she nurses him because he's wounded from knocking his horn off and being in a fight with that gang. She spends all her time with him. See, she's like bathing with him, sleeping together. So this is kind of like a woman's coming of age, a young lady's coming of age fable, where the unicorn represents like the male sexual side of life, and the girl gets to know it, basically. And the unicorn is pretty obvious if you think about it. I'm not going to spell it out for you, but if you think about it. But see, here he starts growing his horn back. Take a good look at that horn. And so they're all happy. They live a happy time together as the unicorn's horn grows back. And meanwhile, this evil magician that took his last horn has turned the horn into a potion, and it's going to give him eternal life, I guess. But then his men come in and say that they found the unicorn and the woman that beat them all up, and he wants them. So he's gonna send out his men and go get this unicorn and get this girl. And they're ambushed. And big melee ensues. Red Sonja is knocked out, and he's about to stab her with his spear. Again, I'm not going to point it out, but it has, flavors of that girl coming of age fable. But she's saved by the unicorn, and the unicorn ends up stabbing the evil sorcerer, witch doctor, priest guy, and throws him. It's pretty gruesome, but he's dead. So his men give up, and Red Sonja and the horse, or the unicorn, I should say, they've won. They've made it out of the jungle. It's harvest time. It looks like the apples are on the trees, and they say farewell and go their separate ways. It's kind of a sad ending, or a happy ending, I guess, but Red Sonja's sad. But this is quite a good first issue, I think. This doesn't continue on into the next issue. Just tells a nice little standalone fairy tale, a fantasy, basically, like a fantasy movie. I love this. I'm excited. I think I read these not real long ago, but I don't remember a lot about them. So going back and rereading them now is fun, as I read my Marvel Comics collection in publishing date order and put out a video for each one. If that sounds cool to any of you out there, please subscribe. If you know anything about Red Sonja, Frank Thorne, Roy Thomas, their time at DC, this title, please comment down below. And if you'd like to help me out, drop me a like or share the video with somebody else who might dig it. So that's it for this time. Stick around for more. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.